My jaw was a little too sensitive there. Hello there, the stream is starting soon. Hope you've all had a lovely holiday season. I've had a good one myself, as has the host. I got this wonderful new job and everything. Time to get ready for streaming. How now, brown cow? The tips of the tongue and the top of the teeth. Good vocal warm-up. Don't know why I'm doing it since I'm about to take a break. But the host is here! The stream is now! Hey there! Welcome everyone. Hi and hello to you as well. Oh, and you over there. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, good job. Put that down here, these bunch. Yeah, I'm watching them. Don't worry. I'm keeping an eye out for shenanigans. I think that right now, this microphone should be balanced okay with the background music. That's an eternal struggle, though. Endless. Unending. We do our best, and we try real hard. We came so far, and it all matters. Happy holidays. And happy impending New Year. It's not here yet. We're still inside 2022. As I realized, I was sitting like right on the whole ass edge of my chair, and I'm like, why am I precariously balancing like this? Why don't I operate in a state of comfort? I've adjusted things a little bit around here. The camera that I use as my main desk camera. You're not supposed to loop. That was for when Optimus Prime says, "Let them come." Hang on. Stop this. Amateurs. But yeah, the camera, right? The desk camera used to be over here, which meant that the cable was stretched all the way across the front of my desk, and it was a nightmare. And then so I decided, what if I put the camera over here instead? And so far it seems like it'll work. The angle will be a bit different, but it also means that I'll naturally be a little bit closer to my microphone when I'm messing with things. Because this is going to be a little box shred. Because I got 3 Transformers whose packagings I've filmed, but I have not yet opened. And after the Victory Saber stream, I mentioned there, I believe, that I wanted to try doing that more often if the opportunity arose. I don't buy Transformers with enough regularity and volume to be like, I'm gonna have monthly open Transformers streams, because sometimes you don't find any, and then sometimes it's like, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of new leader class toys out. How many times $80 you got to drop on Transformers in a row? Who knows? But the stars have aligned. I saw earlier. I had a pretty good Christ Mass and a fairly excellent Xmas. And that included 2 Transformers, and then a third one showed up today because it showed up on EB GameStop, and I've been looking for it, and it showed up shippable there, and now almost all Transformers singularly hit the free shipping threshold because everything's expensive. So I got 3 toys to open. Before we do that, I'm just gonna pop over here and look directly at that chat to say hello to everyone who's stopped by so far. That is Cursed Key, Picky Peeves, Dynamo Dave 2K2 2002, RG1 Studios, Alex Lemons, Sam Wellbell, Zero Liddell, Charles Hookus, TZM Hero, or TZM Hero, Slayer's Hoop, and I think that's it. You want me to rip them open with my bare hands? I can. I got, because people, this is the people think that the bigger and longer the blade, the more powerful the masculinity. But if you want me to go like naked hands, I can do my best. I've done that before. It just might take a bit longer. Also, I'm going to try to make the stream not be insanely long, because I want to stream more, and I think that I'm still in the mindset where I'm like, every time I stream, it's the only time I'm going to do it for months, so I better make it be 8 hours long, and then sidetrack myself 14 times with like, also, if you've seen this thing I was doing, you should take a look at this other thing too. So I want to just stick to doing a thing that's fun, and then instead of stretching this out incredibly long, just do another one later. I like streaming, turns out. I just got to work on the rest of this whole presentation. I gotta figure out how to light myself, so I stopped using that ceiling light that makes the whole room washed out and kind of yellow, and I gotta figure out how to do a little bit of that powder, because I've always been a believer that it's kind of messed up that dude streamers get away with literally climbing out of bed, and then like flatten their hair and go like, hey. What's up, boys? And then, like, female streamers generally have to, like, do an hour of makeup beforehand. And basically, I don't know how to do screen makeup. That's always been someone else's job, and I want to get a little bit of learnination there. At least for a little touch of the little foundation powder. So I want to figure, if we're going to have a New Year's resolution, that might be one. Except I don't really do resolutions, because I hate disappointing myself. That's really pessimistic. What's the story with Jim Burns in the thumbnail? We'll find out. Zero Liddell, bare hands, you might hurt yourself if you use tongs. I don't got no tongs. No, I don't have usable tongs. I used to have tiny tongs, but I think they broke. Sorry, I'm also distracted because we got Cursed Key in the chat is cracking open a Victory Saber fresh while watching this. And briefly was like, I just transformed wholly without the legs coming off. And I was like, well, if you're going to act so in defiance of both science and God, then I prepare for hubris. And then apparently one of the legs fell off. So that's what's good. I want to keep the chat on screen as much as I can. So I've set it so that ideally should stop hiding every single remotely PG-12 message you post. There is an understanding of trust involved in this. I hope y'all understand that side of it. But also I noticed that it generally was not doing that to most of the spam bots that would show up. So I was like, well, then stop making me have to go and hide every time someone says like the hard MN damn, and whatnot. Tiny Tongs was Picky's nickname back in high school. How did you know? Zero. Oh, I love reunions. They're so heartwarming. Anyway, let's switch over to the tri-cam, because we got the close-up cam going on right over here. By the way, we do have cheerleading us on in my messy desktop. Holy and Fire, perpetually always saying yay. Especially now that their little buddies are going to exist at some point. I was recording a podcast last night and reminiscing on our lovely Victory Saber adventure of all of us not knowing how the weapon modes worked, and so I want to keep these two around for a little bit. However, hasha! Look at that. We got us G-Axis here as my test focus model, just grabbing nut and pulling, as one does when you're super evil and also really edgy and cool. Tryhard cam. I got the tryhard cam. This is the tryhard cam. Look what he's doing. Jackass. Anyway, we're going to start small. I got a Deluxe and 2 Voyagers. And the first Deluxe I got was Pipe. I've been looking for Pipe for a while, and this was kindly a gift. And now I've completed the Sentai. I don't actually think I have the other 3 anywhere nearby, so I can't do on screen right now the full swish. But I haven't cracked open Pipe, so I'd like to see if Pipe is like on the hand feel levels. I'm gonna ask Jackus to step aside here. You might still see his foot in the background, so don't be a pervert. Let's see. Let's go no knives. Did I get the golden disc huffers as well? Yeah, I got huffer. I got the golden disc huffers, and then Pipe came out, and I was like, well, I can wait. He stuck around long enough that I lost the rush, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be hard to just eventually acquire Pipe. But then I stuck him on an Amazon wish list, and that resulted in him giftedly arriving to me with great thanks. So let's see. I love this mold, by the way. That's part of the reason why I'm also kind of excited to crack open the final of the Huff Pipe, the Puff Pipe Rager squad. I don't need to pull this part out. This is this thing. I'm gonna leave this. It's taped in. One of them is. So I think that's a sign. Oh man, I knocked the close-up can. Oh no. I also forgot, Kingdom's got trading cards. So, let's have a look at the rare Kingdom sticker card before it has bent to a full half circle. It's already started. So let's have a peek. Let's just have a peek, see what we got. We got Dark Arachnia. Nice pull. Nice pull. I still haven't had anywhere to put the stickers for these, so I just have pulled back to see what's underneath and left it alone on all of them. And boy, these things, they curl like nothing when you leave them exposed to air for long enough, at least in my climate. So this is going to be a little science experiment for us. I'll just put it, let's put it over here. You can watch in real time as the thing curls. Shiny also. Hi, hey there, Adamus Prime. Logos Minor. Trying to catch these new names that were not here when I did the roll call. Ben Walters, you got Legacy, Redcog, Dragstrip, and Override. Nice. Okay, this is the trick. I actually like doing this for fun, trying to get these plastic ties out of the way without having to cut them, because I also hate cutting them. Yeah, Picky Peeves, it's like, in my opinion anyway, it's a good toy. We get one in a good colorway. If you get the 2-pack, or if you got Huffer and Pipes, not the 2-pack, but yeah, if you get Huffer and or Pipes, it's like, well, this is a good toy, maybe I'll get one more, and then eventually it's like, well, there's 4 of them. All of the colorways are pretty solid. Why don't we just do it? I forgot, like, there are some... Oh, I snapped it at, whatever. With my bare fingers. I actually can't remember what the more common crits on this figure are, because I like it so much. I think it's that it has like a crooked looking shape in vehicle mode, even though it's like... Oh, I banged the camera. Even though it's like generally fine. And there we go. We're back. That scared me for a second, because I'm so used to this thing here being over here. Ugh. Anyway, what am I missing here? Yeah, I can't remember what the common crits were other than the alt mode shape being funky. This is a nice deep blue, though. And like the... Oh, he's got little eyes and everything. I think that the eyes were a separate piece, if I recall correctly. But it looks sharp. It's that right dark blue. I like to expand the hole and push through the ties. Yeah, that's how we do it. Told us not to be pervs, and here you are banging the camera. Look, whatever you all... If you read between the lines, alright, there's nothing there by intent, but if you stick your fingers in between the lines and wiggle them around a whole lot until something happens, that's not my fault, that's technically your fault. So, just... I'm gonna try to transform this dude from memory, because it's been a bit. Wait a second. I've gotten too used to the tissue paper. I forgot to look back here. Excuse me. Pardon me. Alright, there we go. That would have been embarrassing. I gotta put... Wait, where do I want to put these? I think these generally... For Pipe, you want to put them on the forearms? Did I just drop that? Maybe. Maybe I did. Maybe I... did, but... we fixed that up. But yeah, it's been a nice end of December season for me so far. My mom has come out to visit me and my brother, and been having some good chill hangout times. Um, Mr. Tots, I also love Pipes. I love this. I love this toy a lot too. It hits marks for me. He looks powerful. Um, it's a very clean white plastic too. Primarily ABS, I think. So I shouldn't have to worry too much about it going funny. But if it does, then it goes funny. I was having a conversation with a couple of friends the other day about the whole white plastic thing, and how like my hope, what I would like, is not so much like, obviously it's a thing, right? And I think it's good to keep reporting it when it happens, because we have it confirmed that the design team are keeping track of whatever info they can get about this to continually try to log and continue to try to deal with the incredibly frustrating situation of white plastic going funny. But what I really want where I want the actual anger, not anger even, just the firebrand energy to exist, is not in going like, Hasbro, damn it, the plastic's going all funny. It's to take that, and I think the more constructive thing to do is to go like, this is really a time where it would be what we want. If you want to go to the plural, is parts replacement system. The logistics to be sorted out for a parts replacement scenario for purchased product. Because I think that is a much more fruitful, and for me a much more frustrating conversation than the yellowing of plastic. The yellowing of plastic, like, it sucks. It happens. What's the way to fix it? Parts replacement logistics. That's what I would really like to see. It's what I want to put some energy into talking about more, because once the plastic has yellowed, there's nothing you're going to do about it. Unless, people figure out the chemical processes to fix that stuff. But demonstrably, in my opinion, Hasbro Pulse is a skeleton crew scenario where the larger corporation has put a handful of people in charge of all that stuff. I think it would explain a lot of the slowness of Hasbro Pulse, a lot of just the weird stuff about how it, to me at least, feels like there's almost no one there running things. And I think that extends to, why there's not really a parts replacement scenario. There's just, we're going to try to give you something of equal value. And I believe that now that they are entering into made-to-order stuff, direct-to-sales stuff, or direct-to-consumer sales stuff, it really would behoove them, us, and every single side of the equation to start figuring out the logistics for parts replacement, at least on higher-end pieces. If not, then known problem pieces. So I think that's where a lot of the energy should be going. Versus going like, fix the plastic! Because it's like, they can't, it's already been made. So they literally can't. Because also, parts replacement, right? Part of the path of that is eventually parts replacement, identifying problem plastics, perhaps in the farther future, parts replacement scenarios for known problem plastics. That's not like a definite, because you'd have to fit casting the new parts into the probably nightmarish logistics of the production pipeline for literally everything they make. But anyway, I was rambling about that with Aaron and TJ yesterday, and I was like, I should say something in a public spot to start a conversation going. What's more public than my webcams? Anyway, did I do this right? Did I get to this right? Because yeah, it has that look of being kind of crooked, but it rolls, so it's actually fine. I still like this thing. I like this shape. I mean, granted, Huffer has got the whole funny back part with all that stuff. I don't think Pipes does. I'm gonna double check the instructions to make sure he doesn't. Also, wow, what a refreshing sight, these, large, legible instructions after Victory Saber. Victory Saber's instructions I did yell about a bunch during a podcast recording. Because parts of them are fine, but the parts that aren't bother me. Oh, Picky Peeves, yeah, you lost one of Skullgrin's back guns on a plane and Delta never got back. Yeah, that sucks. hang on. I gotta put this away. I hate these little like plastic tie pieces floating around everywhere. Like I think I referred to them as toenail clippings before. It's the total vibe they give me. Anora 1, my victory saber did come in fine. Like I had, how do I put it? I had like the most minor of scuff and fingerprinting on some of the gold chrome, but it didn't bug me because it was the kind of scuff and fingerprinting you'd have on a mass production Hasbro toy, and that's ostensibly what HasLab toys are. Is they are a budget flexible, too weird for a retailer to accept it thing that is still under the aesthetic and the context of a mass production line. However, so for a little while I was kind of thinking like maybe folks are a little jumping the gun on what the problem is, but then I saw enough photos on Twitter of folks who had ones with like the gold chrome went on, and it's as though like if the gold chrome had come out of a nozzle, the nozzle dripped once afterwards, and there was just like a big like semi-translucent ring splat, and I was like, yeah, that sucks. That's no good. Oh, I'm missing some chat here. My apologies. Does the hydrogen peroxide fix work on the latest yellowing? Not that I'm aware of. I don't know how many people have tried it, but hydrogen peroxide is, if I recall correctly, is mostly based on the science of how the sun can yellow plastic. This new yellowing phenomena, what's made it, among other things, really worth tracking as far as data for the Hasbro folks, is that it doesn't seem to always be relevant to sunlight. It seems to be relevant to other impetuses to cause the chemical reaction to happen, be it like certain fluorescent situations, certain climate situations. So I don't know if anyone's been trying the hydrogen peroxide treatment, because in that case, I believe you are soaking in peroxide and exposing to the sun to reverse that specific yellowing. So I'm not sure, because this seems to be a different problem than classic sun yellowing. Kind of talking out of my layman's side here, though. So of course I defer to people who have done more of the hard science work. Zimman 2, hello. Oh, there's a simple fix for the bowedness of this, but yeah, I know there was a fix for it somewhere. I have a distant memory that I tried to fix, and I felt like this is fine, but I'm also more okay with it like this. But man, I remember now, there was a fix someone had come up with for Huffer. I don't remember what it was. Adam, you've been trying to get through to Mattel for parts replacement. Yeah, that it's an industry-wide problem in the specific side of the much larger, big box companies, is that they have not modernized for that, basically. And as much as I hate the headline being a headline, I think this also is something to push slightly on the back of that headline about the kidult audience being a 25% or whatever now thing. Like, and obviously that's all very rough. Those are very large fuzzy numbers flying around. But Valkysis, hello. Peroxide is temporary only. Yeah, I thought because peroxide is for sun yellowing, and you're basically using the same sun radiation, whatever, to like undo it, but you have to re-up it now and then. Is the fix for Huffer just untabbing the legs a little? It could be. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I just did it. Yeah, it's tabbed in. That's not. It's really about whether or not this bugs you, though, I think. RG1, you got a Trax or a Road Rage for that plastic tie end piece thing. I have a Road Rage, but I haven't done any of the tricks, because I only messed with Road Rage at TFCon Toronto. I actually haven't messed with her since then. That box of stuff is still a box of stuff I have to unpack. Missing some things here. Picky Peas. Picky, I'm hoping maybe someone does a weapons pack that's useful for Skullgrin. But it might also be worth just asking folks doing customization, if they're not using the weapon, if like they can just send you one in a bubble mailer, put the word out, I guess. Because yeah, that sucks. Basically, Picky lost the weapon on a plane, and the plane ain't helping, is my understanding. Okay, Zimman, you can unravel legs, but there's also a place where you can shave down some plastic and it tabs perfectly. Okay. Pee-pee poo-poo, are you still shadow banned? I don't think so. It's one of the folks who suffered the most under the regime of hold potentially inappropriate comments was like half the things pee-pee poo-poo said, and if you go back in the stream, you can see generally they were not horrifying things. So again, I'll mention, I turned off the hold potentially inappropriate chat comments, but that comes with the understanding that like we're not all going to start abusing that, right? We're all cool. I hope so. I found the setting. It was buried. Anyway, I'm gonna bot up pipes and then move on to the more exciting stuff I haven't messed with whatsoever before. New Sam, what's up? I'm just streaming some new toys I got in the last week. I'm sorry, you're coming where? Wait, where's my sound clip? Where's my sound? Hang on. I should get a soundboard.
Let them come. Let them come.
There we go. Anyway. What was I saying? I'm hoping you're all having an okay time. As tends to be the thing to say, it's almost less like, happy end of December, and more like, hey, I hope you're all doing alright, because sometimes the implication that you're supposed to be incredibly happy right now can be a real rough thing. I've been trying to be prescient of that, because I'm in the really, really fortunate position where, like, hanging out with my mom and my brother is like a wholesale positive thing, because we all get along and always have. And I know not everyone has, like, the best of situations with that. Oh, we're having a Slayer's Shoop reunion going on in here. Yes, Gauntlet Blade. Everyone, please be mature. Zimman got back from Avatar 2 and had nice Christmas. Nice. I saw. Oh, by the way, for newer movies, I should throw it in there. Please don't because people might want to see them. Just as a general kindness, don't go super deep on like talking about the newest movie that's out plot wise. Because I don't want to have to do the work like looking for that stuff. But I've had it before where folks in chat would prefer not to have big ass spoilers dropped everywhere. I don't know if there are those for like, you know, Violent Night or Avatar 2, but this focus feels off. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Ben Walters, what do you think of the Rise of the Beast Studio Series figures? I thought they looked pretty cool. I think those Rise of the Beasts not Studio Series Deluxes also look pretty cool. I'm kind of hopeful to see a not Studio Series Deluxe line that is cool. That would be nice, but I'm really confused as to precisely what all that stuff is. And speaking from experience, the folks getting those toys are stuck as far as being able to tell you anything about it, because they're just getting whatever's popping out of the factory. I was about to say, on the note of please be mature, I was about to say, without thinking about it, popping out of the factory poop hole. So whatever. We're here now. We've landed. We're doing it nice. Crazy when Vin Diesel showed up in Avatar and Shadow Family. Yeah, I mean, it was already a big thing that they were doing a live action The Last Airbender, but Vin Diesel popping up in there, just doing the full in character cameo. I thought it was a bold choice myself. I don't want to be super. Well, okay, I'm gonna throw one more thing in here. Let's have fun with the funny thing. I really want to make sure we ride the line though of not being insanely mean to people. That said, it is a funny thing that like you can just do this and it's become the week's joke. It's become the joke of the fortnight to just do that and not say anything. But someone was asking about Battletrap's timbre, and I don't have Battletrap here. Power of Family, yes, Aaron Udiger. We got him transformed. I'm gonna grab another box. What was I talking about? But I saw Glass Onion with my mom and my brother, and I really liked it. And given that you can see it on the internet, I'm assuming it's easier to see it than anything that's in the theater right now. So I had a good fun with that one. I've really been enjoying the was it Variety or Vanity? It starts with a V. One of those things where they bring people into a white background and film them. They got Ryan Johnson in to like talk through the structure of one of the scenes of the film, and I really enjoyed that. Dude had a really nice, relatable way, for me at least, of like explaining some of the eye lines and the compositions, and I enjoyed that. Ed Norton was pretty good. Was pretty good in that. Tar 2. Oh, Avatar. I was like, that's mean, but no, Avatar. I get it. Blaster package finger blast. Oh, before I get this fully open, I wanted to show you the funny thing you can do. Because I like doing all this stuff with the lack of a window and seeing how far I can push it. So with Blaster, I was wondering, can I just full on play with his chest? And you can. So if you see a Blaster in a store, you can actually pop his chest open and put little secret messages in there, close it up, and then hang out and see if someone on Twitter eventually goes like, I bought a Blaster at the store and it had a weird funny message on the inside written on a piece of paper. So you know, a thing you can do with Blaster. It looks like they don't want you to keep the boxes, anyway. Yeah, I've always tried to ditch boxes for Transformers anyway. It's a shame, though, because I think the box art has been gorgeous in the last, memorable past. I think they've been making really engaging, lovely-looking, graphic design and artwork for these boxes, and I wish it was getting collected in a really reliable, physical copy form. That War for Cybertron trilogy book apparently has a ton of it in it, but I don't know for sure. I can't remember if it's even out yet. But that would be a good precedent to set if it does have that going on. Adam has ideas for Blaster. Griffman, I'm on board for Knives Out Cross Muppets. I saw that photo, or that little piece of art floating around on Twitter, and I was like, yes, that would be a perfect fit. In fact, Benoit Blanc feels like a host on the Muppets kind of character, if that makes any sense. Ezim, I did get the WFC art book for a Secret Santa gift, and I hope we get a Legacy art book, even though we don't have an animated series to go with it. Yeah, I don't want an animated series to have to be the precedent. I want that good art to get showcased without the packaging, design style, logos, and everything overlapping that stuff. Granted, I'm also really interested in the player community-run side of Transformers TCG as it is now, and I think it would probably be a boon to a lot of community efforts to have that very looks a whole lot like Siege artwork available for use in a what's the word, a fan policy friendly kind of way. I knocked a Ziploc bag over. I found it. I'll pick that up later. Which Muppet would Blanc hit it off with the most? My money's on Gonzo. Yeah, I wouldn't deny that. Yeah, Searchman DS, the Legacy art I think is also just really pretty. I really like it. Obviously, in a perfect world, I would also like that art book to have the names of the artists in it. It's a real bummer that like on the Magic the Gathering cards, even it's always just credited as Volta, because Volta is great. Volta Creations does good work. Volta Creations is not a name of a human though, and that bums me out. That there's still like that kind of, how do you put it? That blur put over top of all of the folks who actually worked on the stuff on that top level. It's kind of up to all of us to like create spreadsheets of who worked on what as they choose to reveal it or not. Okay, so the War for Cybertron book is legit out. All right, I need to go and take a look at some bookshops, see if I can see that in person too. I'm very curious. Yeah, Magic the Gathering is a whole funny thing too. It's a good game, in my opinion. I don't disagree with folks who think that the land mana resource side of it feels a little dated, but it's a really fun game to play. I just wish it didn't have all this baggage attached to it, if that makes sense. I think we're getting this. I think we're getting this out. Release his breast. There we go. We got him. We got him. I shot eject across my desk, but we got him. Well, these speakers are even... I haven't looked into this blaster at all, by the way, I should mention. But this, look at this. The speakers even flip around, so you can have, like, a grate over them or not. Well, that's neat. Now that I messed with it so much when he was in package, I keep accidentally hitting the button and opening his chest. So I feel like I'm paying a price here for things I've done. Let's put a friend inside for the time being. Let's put a friend inside. How does this fit? Oh, there's a tab down there. Okay, I got it. There, our friend is inside. I'm going to tilt this up a little. Put a gun in a hand. Yeah, I like this. I remember when this got revealed during one of our Q&As, and that felt like it was this year. And then I think it wasn't. I think it was last year, because he was at the end of Kingdom. Super weird how time works. We've gone back to paper ties. Those ones were plastic ties. Yeah, but the other one from Legacy I've got also has plastic ties. I think it was like that for the other Legacy stuff, though. I can't remember. Picky Peas, most I can tell you for box art is I think Matt Frank did Holiday Optimus. Yeah, that looked like his style from the deck building game. I think he might have said publicly that he did it. I can't quite recall, though. Oh, okay. Yeah, the plastic ties, paper ties thing, it kind of flips around a little bit. The thing I like about the paper ties is I can literally untie them, which I find very satisfying. Was pleased with Blaster when I got him back in Kingdom. Great figure. Okay, I'm gonna see how this feels here. This feels really good. That's a chonkin' knee. I wasn't really expecting any, like, oh my god, he can't pose in some certain way. I keep hitting the button. I keep hitting the button. I wasn't expecting anything to really be disappointing on him, because he's, you know, we're in an era of, like, pretty solid robot modes in general. That's a funny pose. Can this? No. Yeah, it's a single piece. Okay. This I'm pushing my own button hand thing feels weirder on Blaster than on Soundwave, because he's really, like, he's poking his own belly here. It's not like he's having to reach up to push a button. It makes it look weird when nothing is in that hand. Oh yeah, I like Titan's Return Blaster and Soundwave as well, just for being thick. Like, just big, thick robots. I'm gonna try transforming them. I'm gonna go non-instructions on this, so it's even more of an adventure. We'll go on a journey of discovery, because I don't remember hearing about anything breaking on this guy, so I think I'm safe to just go hog wild here. There, I finished. Oh wait a second. Wait. These arms fold away? Wait, hang on. Those don't get shorter, do they? If you get the perspective just right. Oh, what am I missing here in the chat? Still surprised we've heard nothing about a twin cast. Yeah, that feels like a Generation Selects kind of thing. Blaster somehow yellows. Guess I'll discover. Okay, there's a rumor about him shipping with a Metal Hawk in Wave 2 of next year's Legacy. I'm so bad at keeping up with the leak name lists for that stuff, because without photos to go with them, for whatever reason, I just check out of of those conversations. Like, I just don't feel anything, because I'm like, all right, this character's happening. I just want to see how he turns out. RG wants to do his Generation Selects Blaster Blue. If they did that, then I would really congratulate them for a frankly courageous move. I wonder where these arms go. I feel like I saw it before when this got revealed, and I've subsequently forgotten. Which I don't mind. Oh, I bet it's like this. That seems like a cool trick. New Sam, you got Selects Magnificus at work. Nice. I like the Magnificus colors. They're very... I hit the button again. They're very pretty. I saw... Yeah, on the back of the legs, there's a bunch of this. So I'm assuming these do your cassette robot kind of thing. I'm going to flip these around. Get the grate on there. I hit the button again. Okay, I see. There's a tab here. Oh, wait, the handle... Does it have to come up right now? Is this a whole... Oh, that's the ankle tilt. That's the ankle tilt. Alright. What am I doing with the arms, then? Oh! Oh! Right? Am I on the right track with these? What a great addition! No, whoa, ho, ho, ho. This feels like a cool trick going on, but now I'm starting to think maybe it is unnecessary. Because that doesn't line up with the hole that's down there. Fold the hands more. Okay. Now that lines up with the hole that's down there. I see. Oh, that's satisfying. Ooh! That cleans up better than Soundwave. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Oh, dang. This even tabs in up here. Like, there's a tab slot connection right there. That's super solid. I feel like I can just beefcake this thing together, which also is, in a smaller way, satisfying. I like it when a Transformers function is such that you can kind of just squeeze it together. Oh, I can't quite beefcake it. No, I gotta use skill. Oh, I know what's going on. I forgot to fold that bit down. Can I beefcake it now? Execute using adult strength. Mangle it even. Smoosh the boy. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, that's... this is the satisfying part here, right? Because you see there's like 2 slots, 2 tabs. It's like, and then the crotch seals the deal. I like that a lot. All things considered, that is probably my favorite turn him into a rectangle transformation we've had in a while. Oh, I forgot to flip this around. Oh no, oh no. That's gonna make someone upset. Hang on. Symmetry. What are we without symmetry? Akin to beasts. That's what we are. Army of babies in the chat. Alright, it's a brick! It's a brick! I'm gonna look at the instructions now to see where they want me to put this according to the authorities. According to the authorities... Oh, there is a dedicated thing for this. I was wondering about that. Alright, so there's a little tabbity-do here. According to the authorities, there's only 1 slot for that, too. This is to go there. That is the prescribed and the only legal way to store the gun on this figure. We figured it out. Thanks to the manual. Thanks to the official manuals. We followed the rules and we did things according to design. Alright. I did not fully tab in this side of anything. I completely missed the hole back there. Hang on a second. Don't tell anyone and do not narc me out to the cops. I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry about it. No one has to know about this. We fixed it. Good. Good. What a perfect first time. Everything went great, and I'm very good at Transformers. Pee pee poo poo. Blaster was the first brick at Stonewall. Oh boy. I can't continue on that track. I just like it. I don't mind it. Well, if you don't know the Canadian equivalent to the FBI to narc me to, then like I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not here to help. I'm here to hinder the narking. Yeah, this feels great. Let's pop out a little friend. See how a little friend works. This is the Energon infused eject because they needed to use something on the same sprue to have a clear window here, which I don't think I needed. I think I actually would have been cool without a clear window myself. But I digress. I bet I can figure out how to turn a smaller rectangle into a smaller man. Oh, that's my phone. I'm gonna mute that down. Does this little guy even have feet? Okay, they're sculpted in. They're like in there. You can see the booties, but they don't fold out. Nor does he actually have hands. They are just sculpted in there too. Yeah, this is begging for some paint to paint in the sculpted parts of the body so they're more obvious. Cherry Bomb Toys. You found out who the Canadian FBI are. It's the local toy shop in... Oh, I can't believe it. Hashtag rectangle science. Correct, Darth Prime 27. That's my entire lifestyle. Throw it at a chain base to test durability too. Hey, listen, that's the old science. I didn't know that you all had caught up to the new science. Also, this little guy is fun. Is fun. I like this. Is his butt pre-stressed and bending outward? The gray piece. It doesn't seem to be. I'll go to the close-up cam here for a sec. I'm not seeing a pre-bent, stressed butt. Picky Peas, I don't think repro labels will be able to help with this, mostly because they're very inset pieces of sculpting. Well, the vinyl material that like really grips in, that could do it. It would be difficult to implement though on the user end. Bring bat, will it float? I can't guarantee that because it might not be legal anymore. Check his taint. Okay, well. I think the taint is clear. I got the close-up cam running here, so we can all get a good hard long look. His crotch exploded on mine. Well, I mean, we can see if a sonic resonance event might cause something. I'll get in the close-up cam here so you can witness if it happens. Seems to be okay. Yeah, it seems like it's fine. I hit the camera there. My apologies. That's just a consequence of science, though. This thing is in like reverse, so I'm never sure how to get it straight exactly. There we go. Are you ready for a toy miniature of the 41st millennium to get a show? Yeah, I mean, I just want things to go well for Henry Cavill, on specifically on something that he is enthusiastic about. Darth Prime 27, you're watching a video about eject. It's an Autobot from Transformers. Valkais, was your blaster eject from Kingdom or Legacy? Because like mine is from the newer Legacy production run. I'm assuming it's a newer production run. There might have been little factory floor tweaks. I am not sure though. Just for full data, at least, like in case that explains things. Kingdom, okay, there may have been a tweak at some point on the factory floor level. That kind of thing, I don't think it's recorded very much in a way that we can access, though, as far as like knowing the information. So unfortunately, I don't think we have a way of checking. Like, I've gotten the vibe that the design team does not necessarily know about every factory floor tweak that can happen. Or at least, like, don't have, like, records on access for Q&As about that stuff. Dang. The gray and clear blue pieces didn't fit and bulged, and the blue finally exploded. Ugh. Well, thankfully that didn't happen over here. Also, he compresses down. Great, he's compressing into a brick, but he compresses down. I like this blaster quite a bit. I'm very chuffed, as the kids say. Yeah, I'm never 100% sure about that stuff, because, like, I also suspect in some cases there are figures chilling in warehouse that get a packaging refresh, but not mostly, that is 100% a hypothesis of mine that's based kind of case to case. It seems likely that it would be another production run, though. That's something where, again, I suspect that there's no information to be had, yes or no, about that in a Q&A. It might be worth asking them on Instagram, mostly because, like, how do you put it? Asking on Instagram is not sacrificing a Q&A slot to ask something that is potentially not answerable, which that sounds a little bad faith, but I'm when it comes to Hasbro Q&As, I tend to think partly in terms of efficiency. So obviously, like, an easy example is, are you guys ever going to do character X, Y, or Z? It's like, that's not worth asking at a Q&A because they won't be able to answer it for various reasons of precedent. When it comes to production stuff, I find the toy industry can be a little bit cagey about what they're allowed to share publicly about manufacturing. But thankfully, these folks are fairly responsive right now on social media. So, with the caveat of, like, don't freak out on them and spam them with stuff. Might be worth asking that in, like, a comment section or something. Tilt the ankles. I did it. I did it. Man, took me a while to piece together that chuffed is a positive descriptor. Once I learned it was positive, I was like, this is a fun word to say, and it seems harmless to say it, so I'm going to say it more. Flip these out to be those little doodle bopper speakers. Yeah, Legacy Blaster. Feeling good about it. The squad's forming up. I have to scratch my back. Luckily, I'm very flexible. Ow. I hit my elbow on a fan. I paid for my hubris. Let's get these out of the way. Let's get to toy number 3. Zero Liddell, one might say you were chuffed to learn about chuffed. I was. I was also chuffed when this showed up as being add to cartable on Canadian GameStop, so I could not find him anywhere in person, but because he's a Voyager who's expensive, that was free to ship because he hit the free shipping threshold. So I got Jim Burns. I always forget if it's Jim Burns or Jim Byrne. Anyway, I got Inferno. Here's the funny thing you can do with him if you see him on a store shelf, because his head's fully accessible. You can set him to be saying hi. So you can do that without. If you wanna pirate the purchase experience somewhat, you can do this for free in stores. Without having to, purchase the entire figure. If this is all that you really want to do, make him match his box art. You can just do that by yourself. And you just tap his head to close that. How very dare you try to scratch your back. Jim Burns, thank you, Isam. I always forget. What's up, Ultimate Knight? Welcome to the streaming experience. RG1 Studios, one of the box art flaps on my whiteboard right now. It's just good. It's good box art. I like it. He's singing. So this tape is a lot more solid than the last tape. We're gonna have to get creative and stay on camera. There we go. Yeah, isn't Jim Burns, like, based out of BC or something? I always forget about how Canadian he is. Alright, the legality sheet will return in here. By the way, if you want to scan a QR code, here it is a very fuzzy copy of a QR code. Zero Liddell, as Vangelis' lawyer, I must warn you not to make Inferno say hi without parental supervision. Nah, be a renegade, kids. Make him yell. Just make him yell. It's what he was born to do. I put this inside the box, and it came right back out. That's what I think of the law! That's what I think of the law! Any tissue paper? No? Alright, let's just get to it. Here come the letters. Aaron Utinger, the MOTU Origins card backs of such... Yeah, those are, like, legit art, right? Like, in the old style of the of how that was done for the old He-Man figures, where it's just like paintings of toys. I like that vibe. Oh, he's a Vancouver guy. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Alright, here we go. This one, I think we just got to flex and twirl, and we got the gun free. The way to cheat, if you want to go on this thing with just like pulling it out without using any knives, if you want to cheat, you rip open the little holes if you can to get the plastic wraps through. I don't think I'll have to do that. Oh, I wasn't trying to rip that one out. That just came out. It was too weak. Pee-pee poo-poo shedding tears in such blatant disregard for our laws. That's right. Army of Bees, I was challenged by Slayer Soup to go barehanded on these, and I'm not one to shirk such a challenge. So, we are going knifeless. We are going full safety mode. Just paint me bright orange and pink with and blue with a neon orange Dayglow cap on the end of my barrel. Why don't you? Go handless. No, I don't do that for free. That's for the premium streams only. This dude is actually tied in here real hardcore. They get like doubled up the legs up here and everything. That's like they're trying to prevent theft or something. I don't know. Oh, I want this to just be out of the way. There we go. So would you believe I have not watched a single piece of coverage on this dude? So I know nothing about how he works. So we're just gonna have a good old funny time. Oh hey, he does have 4 things back here. Well, that's cool. Wasn't that a whole thing that it was like, oh, it's a shame he only has 3? The 4th one was hidden there all along. Oh, aren't we all foolish? Look at it spins and everything. That makes me happy. Anyways, put it away. Connor McClure, glad to see you here, making one of these things live. Let's give him his royalty maker here. Those are funny looking hands. I like it. Aw, he's so happy. This guy is Inferno here is the definition of chuffed. Like, look at this. This is I'm so hype right now. I remember both my brothers were slightly discomforted at first sight of the ant mode. Oh boy. Take it easy, New Sam. Hit up them snacks. Let's jam this gun up his cavity. Because I'm assuming this goes back here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, to pause! Me too! That hidden tail fin, I spent months just like, I was like, the discourse is that we have to deal with the fact there's only 3. I had no idea. I had no idea. Everything is right in the world. Sometimes life is actually good. I have to transform him at some point, but I'm having a good time with this right now. I still have to track down a bunch of these Beast Wars redos. I never got Rhinox because I wanted to get him cheap, and I missed him cheap. I missed him for pennies, in fact, and it's killing me. So I still want to get Kingdom Rhinox. I just really want him to cost very little when I do. And I've still never seen Tarantulas in person, and Amazon screwed me out of Terrorsaur. Toy Colors Terrorsaur is in Canada, but only at Toys R Us, where he's $45, the price of a Voyager. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to track down Terrorsaur, Rhinox, and Tarantulas, and I'll have the Nouveau Season 1 gang all put together. Wave sign, can't wait for the AliExpress sellers making an aftermarket wind-up spinny bit. Hey, it's the top of the hour. I've seen other people talk about this. Hydrate. Remember to hydrate. I'm armed and ready myself. I hit the camera. You can see that that happened. That's H2O. You gotta lubricate. So you can justify the good stuff. Is this memes? Are these memes? Hang on. Is this meme? Alright. That's silly. That's silly! Dragon Megatron is a delight. Yeah, I gotta pick him up still at some point. He seems to be floating around in stock right now, and I hope that holds out until I can get some leader money, fun money together. I'm gonna try to do this without looking at the instructions, which seems like a real potential mess, given that this is not a fellow made of boxes turning into a rectangle. But we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna give it the old college. We're gonna give it the old heave ho hoo ha. I remember reading that this bummed me out when I read this somewhere, that you can't keep the thing in his butt, which bums me out. Unless I'm mistaken. Am I mistaken? I could have sworn I read that you can only put this thing like under the ant mode. Someone let me know. Alright, how do I even start? I'm gonna pull the... I'm a kidult. I know how these work. That's not even a real ant leg! I was pulling on this thing going like, how does this fold out? I'm a fool. I've been tricked. Does this go all the way around? Doesn't feel like it does. Okay, there's a hole in a peg. Those go together. Those go together. Okay. Legs go in butt? I thought I said to keep things... look, I gave you all some responsibility here to be mature with the filter off. Yet here we are yelling legs go in butt. One of the most infamous dirty phrases of the 21st century. Does that still close if I do that? Okay, then I'm assuming this is what you mean by legs go in butt. I see how legs go in butt. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, legs do go in butt. Do they ever? So this has to... No. Does it? Don't forget the waist swivels. Good lord. Phew. I would have been annihilated on the spot if I hadn't gotten that heads up. Try legs, therefore butt. Ah, you appear to be buttless. Fun fact about Avatar 2, Jake Sully's Na'vi kids say butthole more than you might think. That's not a spoiler, that's just a draw. Try legs, but... Break his knees to fit in the butt. I see. Okay, yeah, we got some double hinging. Alright, we're arranged. We can fit the butt. Legs fit in butt. What's up, Melon? I'm getting some real good Elden Ring message advice. I like the idea of when someone is like, I'm gonna live stream a Transformer. I actually genuinely like the idea that someone trying to live stream a Transformer, you only help them in the form of Elden Ring chat drops. Break knees to fit in butt is my favorite thing I've heard all day. Oh, that's a satisfying butt closure. Mmm. I went off screen there. This, I really wanted to get that in my ears. I'll do it again. Hang on. I'll do it again. This was really satisfying. So you get legs together, put them up here, and it's like, and it's like scrunch and scrunch, and you put this down, and there's 2 tabs and 2 slots, and it's like, It's good, solid butt closure. I'm assuming I've done everything to be done with the feet. I'm just gonna leave them like that. I kept thinking maybe they fold in on themselves to go in here, but then everything was feeling like, no, you're just gonna snap them in half, and I was like, all right, true. Army of Bees, you saw a solid butt closure at Hellfest back in 2019. Yeah, it was better. Back when you could go to Hellfest and catch a group like Solid Butt Closure or like Volvic Thrash, it was way, you know, it's so uncomfortable now going out to those kind of shows. They fold in, put feet in butt. How? Feet fold up against back of legs. Okay. Well, wait, there's heels in the way. I feel like a friggin' parent talking there. How do I fold the feet up though when there's heels in the way? I'm like a parent in a sitcom. My kid says that they can design a whole website just using one piece of software, and frankly, I don't understand how. Ankle gets the heels out of the way. Jeez. Jeez, McGee. This feels like there's a very specific way that this happens. Let's just start over. Let's get to the front. Let's get to the front. Okay. Oh, I do notice the tab in the calf. Oh my god. This is a math problem. So if I want to get that to there, use this to get that out of the way. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze getting that heel out of the way, is what it is. Oh, that's satisfying, because now we're gonna put the legs together. We're gonna fasten the legs to the inner side butt flaps. I have to re-break the knee to fit the leg in the butt. Oh my god. Perfect toy. I don't care about what the rest does. It's perfect. That's great. That's lovely. I love it. Oh, Gauntlet Blade. If nothing else happens today, I will always cherish that I told Vangelis to put the feet in the butt. Solid butt closure. Now with feet. Perverted, honestly. But that's the state of the platform, right? Ugh. Anyway, I also had split this open, and I kind of got distracted when everyone was telling me to put the feet in the butt. But now we can get back to business here. Fold the mouth out the chest. Oh, that goes away nice. Be wary of ankles, visions of rump. Perfect. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted for Christmas. Oh, there's suspicious tabs. Wait, did I need to fold the head around? Could I go face forward in here? I can. Okay. I had swiveled his head around because I just sort of assumed I had to for it to fit, but it looks like it's fine like that. Love some good chest mandibles. Butt stresses are the worst they are. I can say no matter what the cool kids tell you, never get butt stress if you can avoid it. It's not worth the butt stress. I can see that there's crisscross tabs going on the outside of the shoulders. So we're going to want those to interlock. Yeah, those things there. We're getting them to do the shuffle here, do the zigzag kerchuffle. I'm like seconds away from doing what I did at the end of the last live stream and just like yelling "Don't come on people," and we're not gonna have that happen again. This feels like everything is backwards. But only kind of. To pause, be mindful not to push too hard on the bug eyes when closing the head. Oh, I see, because they're pegged in through there, so that could just push them straight in. That would be embarrassing. Yeah. Okay, and I was just seeing here, Picky Pete's, the hole is literally for his chin. Yeah. There's his chin right there. I feel like this guy doesn't have double jointed wrists or elbows just for the robot mode. But those bits on the inside lock together, so now where does the rest of this go? Mind the thumbs. Excuse me? Oh! Oh my. Oh my! Those are for the thumbs! Oh, hot damn. I didn't think I'd get satisfied twice, but I just did. Sorry, I'm having that moment of rapture with this piece here. Holy moly. Feels like I haven't got it like perfectly all together, but right now I want to get the lay of the land here. This is really cool. I like this figure. I like this figure. Sure, you can see in the chat, most people don't actually care for this toy, but me, I like it, yeah. It's hard being so singular and unique. Now, literally anyone who's ever talked to me about this figure basically said, like, yeah, it's like a tiny masterpiece. Freaking stands on his legs, too. Holy crap. Look at that. I don't even care where this gun goes. Whatever. Whatever. Ants are better with guns on top. I said it. There's a science to where the legs go I gotta learn, but, like, I think I got them all down. These guns like a little hat. Look at that. Picky Peeves, imagine being in the minority for liking a toy. Yo, there are toys I like that no one likes. Or at least there's also modes I like that no... Like, I know I'm not alone, because people have come to stand at my side on this, but, like, for instance, I think that Siege Soundwave's alt mode is good. And that puts me on an island, but I am happy to say I'm not on an island alone. This is good stuff here. This is good stuff here. Look at this. Siege Soundwave alt mode crew. That's right. People are just mean. Also true. Ooh, but pipes though. Ah, barely can hold. Whoa, what a junky toy this pipe. This pipes can't even ride on the back of Voyager Legacy Inferno, honestly, and I mean, like, just bad. I'm really like, I'm tickled and annoyed that this has become like the universal gag language, because eventually this won't make any sense. Zimman, real talk, no opinion on the alt mode, but I prefer the proportions on the robot mode of Siege Soundwave. Yeah, I could see that. I like them both, but yeah, there's different mush on different spots. Use the hole in the back of the ant to have a fossilizer connect for weird centaur thing. Yeah, I could see that. That'd be fun. I have to learn how these legs work. Much like an infant, I have to learn how these legs work. That's really cool. I'm going to turn this back to a robot, because that's what you do with Transformers, right? What's up, Rider Strike? Yeah, we're having a good chill night. Gone through our toys, so I'm not going to go too much longer. My plan was we started about an hour and 15 minutes ago, so in the next hour I'm hoping to close up shop, ideally in the next like less than an hour, but let's get this back to bot mode and then we'll go from there. My whole thing is generally less about like who likes what and more about like, and I guess it's not really like a thing that I expect, but like the thing that makes me more excited is less about who likes what and more about who has cool explanations for why they like what. And generally, as like a half caveat on top of that, I am often more interested to know about what people like versus what people dislike. I just think it's a more fun conversation. So I'm always happy when it's like I like a thing that's generally unpopular, and then other people are like, "Nah, we're in that crew too. We're all together here on this island." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. We got love." I still haven't seen Speed Racer. I have a DVD of it somewhere, or a Blu-ray somewhere. I've always meant to. I've seen like clips of it a whole bunch, which I think like satisfied me for a while. It's definitely like what do you call it? Big aesthetic style movie. Yeah, the Siege Decepticon spaceships are just on the whole. Like, I like them all. I like Reflector as well. I like the notion of like an army of those Reflector bots just like hovering over a horizon, or bots, the Reflector alt modes hovering over a horizon. Rest of the stream is delayed until we force me to watch Speed Racer. I don't think I'm legally allowed to watch Speed Racer on YouTube live streaming. Because they're cowards. They're not real fans like us. True. If they were real Transformers fans, they'd let me watch Speed Racer on live stream. If mom was a real Transformers fan, she'd let me go out after 8 p.m. and go to an R-rated movie. Robot Lorekeeper, I think someone said this in this very chat, but I think Soundwave and Shockwave Siege alt modes could just be their personal spaceships from now on. Hell yeah! That would be super cool. Robstein1, don't know if it's common to hate on Earthrise Double Dealer, but I adore the figure. I can't remember. I feel like Earthrise Double Dealer, I got an eyelash in my eye. This sucks. I think that he kind of came and went in a weird way. I do have the extra selects cassette box to go with them, and generally I like them. I mean, I know that like one of the common kind of digs on that toy was that legit, you know, the bird mode is kind of jank nonsense, but also if it wasn't, it wouldn't be Double Dealer. So I never can take that as a serious criticism, but it's also completely valid because it is complete jank. It's just it should be. If it wasn't, I'd be mad. Like one of Double Dealer's character traits is that Double Dealer does not know what a bird is, but also thinks that birds are really cool. Robot Lorekeeper, yeah, the ant eyes are translucent pieces. They're pegged on from the inside, so I was told if you push on them too hard, you might actually dislodge them and have to peg them back in. But they are completely translucent. In case this is part of the discussion, I will say the thigh swivels on this guy feel a little bit loosey-goosey. I don't know if that's like part of the chatter out there, but FYI. That reasoning for Double Dealer is also why I love Siege Ape Face. Oh yeah, I mean, I got good ones that don't seem to have any kind of tolerance problems, but I love the trilogy Ape Face and Snapdragon. I think those turned out really well, but also like my Ape Face has no problems holding together. And I know that that is kind of the entire core of why that toy did not land for a lot of folks. Little ankle tilts down here. Oh yeah. Hey, Robot Lorekeeper. I don't know if you were here for this part, so maybe we shouldn't tell you. So don't look if you don't want to see. But like this made me gleeful because there was all the, you know, he's got 3 flaps, not 4. What if there was? What if though this was hidden this whole time, specifically only for robot mode? What if this was cut specifically to fit in here? So that everything was there. Yeah, Robot Lorekeeper. That was because I was like, oh, this must be. Wait a second, all those months of conversation. It's all there. It's all true. He fly on own ass. Oh my god, you can spin it around the ass gun. It's not perfect, but oh, it works kind of. Does this pop out at all? No. Okay. The dream is real, and we're all living it together. I'm so happy right now. This is everything I wanted. Rider Strike, how's the new Star Saber compared to the MP? I have not messed with the Masterpiece in a few years because I've described this before. Basically, he's tall enough that a couple years of Masterpiece toys are all in front of him. So I haven't messed with him for a while. But the new one is really playable, and in my opinion, incredibly fun. Because it's designed in a Generations aesthetic. And I have had a ton of fun messing with that set of figures. It's worth tracking down if you think that you want to have a good fun time with one. Just don't pay like $500 for it. The shadows on the top-down camera. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you can see the shadows spinning and everything. That's really cool. I didn't even realize that we had that going on over here in close-up cam. Also, let's get that close-up in here. Your parents trying to take a selfie. .jpg. There we go. Hey, kids. I'd say, okay, Picky Peas, I'd say I'd empathize, but I always have time to pull my SS-86 Dinobots out from behind. My SS-86 Dinobots just don't go behind things. That was my trick. So that whenever I can finally do videos about them, they'll just be there. I made a comment about the shadows too, but the thing reduced the comment to an emote. I was wondering what the lone emote was for. Just been introduced to the wonder of flappy beast mouths. Like what I'll say is if you are gonna with Victory Saber, if you're gonna take into account the backer price, make sure you include the shipping, because that is ostensibly part of the price. So in the fairest of senses, you will pay more than a backer did, because you'd be paying the backer's shipping plus the shipping that you're paying for that backer to ship their copy to you, as far as like wanting to adjust for markups and things. If you I don't have space for separate Dinobots. They just are in a separate spot, is the way I would put it. But yeah, Hazlight Victory Saber, if you can find one for a decent price, it's worth the thing. I think there are going to be more of them floating around than Unicrons, and I think there are going to be more Deathsauruses floating around than Victory Sabers, because there's always kind of a rolling effect with this kind of stuff. Also, Victory Saber is actually reasonable to ship. That's a really important thing when you start to look at the HasLab Transformers oeuvre, in my opinion, is that Unicron is not only like the first one. Unicron is large, and Unicron's box was built for shipping logistics that kind of don't exist anymore. So Unicron is a very unique piece, even more so now than before. Victory Saber is in a box that's like reasonably shippable by a human to another human. So that's a whole thing. There's probably also more Deathsauruses because they learned from the Zavi stuff. Yeah, that too. If you haven't heard, boy, it's a mess. That Zavi thing is awful. So 280 to 350 is a bit harsh. 280, how do I put this? 280 is like, if you have the money for it, I'd say that's the I'm waiting till now tax. That's the I don't care about FOMO tax, which I'm trying to teach myself to be better about. Like the 300-ish range for Victory Saber feels like oof, but also it's like the BotCon toy type thing, the convention toy thing. I wouldn't say like, oh, that's a great deal, but I'd say like, yeah, that seems like fair. That seems sort of fair-ish. If you can get it for under that, absolutely do it. Yeah, 280 plus 20 shipping is like, I don't think that anything bad happened there. I think someone was able to turn, hopefully, a regret purchase into a happy return. If they bought one to flip and they flipped it for that, then like, you know, whatever. If they bought like 50 to flip and did that, then like, okay, that sort of sucks. Although that's not going to happen with Deathsaurus very easily, because my understanding is that Deathsauruses did not combine shipping costs. The shipping costs simply multiplied by the number of Deathsauruses, which potentially lends credence to my little theory that the shipping cost is not literally the shipping. It's like a sort of smokescreened, veiled, this is how much it will cost in total, and we have sectioned out this part to be the shipping cost, so it feels like the toy is not as expensive. I don't know. Yeah, I those are all like little conversations I've been thinking about a lot more lately that I've been having fun thinking about. Rider Strike, your collecting video was good and reminding me how about good habits. Yeah, I mean, as someone who's better about giving advice than ever following it, I do try to like keep some of that stuff in mind. When with this kind of conversation about like what's a fair markup, I just think about like, okay, it costs how much if you ordered it. Then, if you skipped having to wait that long, and you've got someone else doing the shipping and handling and stuff after the fact, plus time and scarcity and demand, what doesn't feel ugly, and it's like, yeah, like $300. It's basically like, they adding roughly 100 to it. It's like, that's a lot, but for the context of what it is, if you're completely divorced from the situation till now, it's like, all right, that's like a markup. I wouldn't say like, oh yeah, that's a great price, but it's like, yeah, it doesn't feel like ridiculous to me. 500 would be me going like, well, that seems a little bit like you rounded up the third digit, not one of the back two digits, and I'm not as into that, really. HasLab animated Bumble Prime. Yeah. That's a few degrees separated, I think, from what's likely possible. Oh, but we do need them to do a Bumblebee of some sort for poor Army of Bees to finally get tempted. Goken 31 Mirage. That sounds familiar, but I can't remember what that is. Oh! Goken Delta Mirage. I get you. Yeah, you should. Took me a second. VF31. Yeah. But yeah, those I still need to go back and edit the ones from 2019, I think. But I'm gonna get the rest of those why do we collect, etc. videos up, because I think it's a fun series to go through. And it seems to constantly give folks little epiphanies that seem positive. Especially now, I've talked about this before. I'll go on this little tangent again. And we're looking at a bunch of toys. I'll flip back here for a second. Hi. One of the things that I think is worth thinking about right now as far as what makes you enjoy figures and healthy collecting habits and everything is because everything is becoming more expensive. And it's not going to stop becoming more expensive, I think, for a little while. And so I think that in the broad strokes, the habitual completionism that tends to come with being a toy collector of lines of toys is very hard to maintain healthily. And as far as costs continuing to go up, among other things, there were colossal shipping logistics and warehousing and factory problems stemming back to 2020 that we are only just starting to feel the burn from. And I think we're going to be feeling that burn for a while, and I think it's going to create new normalities in the relevant industries that, when passed down to the consumer, are going to result in a continual creep on prices for probably the foreseeable couple years. So being able to figure out how to be comfortable with going out and continuing to engage in a hobby that's supposed to be fun is probably going to come hand in hand with getting away from the habitual completionism that toy collecting tends to carry with it from the 2010s, is how I tend to feel about it. I've got an eyelash that is trying real hard to just pull the cornea right out, but I got it. When the storage is stackable. But yeah, it's a fun conversation to have still. But the big reason why the conversation should be fun, though, is not so much that, like, habits must change and we got to do better. It's just like I'd prefer creating a healthy and positive vibe around stuff like how do we deal with prices going up, because otherwise it's an inherently super bummer topic. And I think that habitual completionism, it's my phrase for it. It's not like, we're friggin' zombies or whatever, but it's, it was not hard to be a completionist on a line for quite a while, and it can be kind of a bummer to have the paradigm shift a little. But then, on the upside, it means that you can now, if you want to, develop a sensibility for, like, well, what do I really, really like, and what am I okay with, like, leaving alone and leaving to the whims of chaos to find somewhere down the road in a bin at a convention or whatnot. So what I'm hearing is just buy the animal toys in Tarn. Got it. Yeah, that is precisely what I... That is basically what I just said to literally everybody. I've missed a bunch of chat while I was talking, so my apologies. Remind yourself of that whenever Discotech announces a new swathe of Blu-rays. Yeah! Every time there's like, yeah, we got 50 new series coming out on Blu-ray, and I'm like, hell yeah! And then I remember, those are all probably $50+ a piece. Oops! Back off for a little bit and hope they keep printing them. Yes! Dynamo Dave, are you still excited about collecting? I am, for little moments, like, specifically, dang, I can't find Inferno everywhere, and everyone says he's cool. I go to check GameStop.ca one day, pops up as add to cartable, and I'm like, hell yeah! Because it's free shipping threshold, so I basically have, like, that little found it in the store moment, except, like, from the comfort of home. Yeah, Rider Strike. Shipping to Canada has also just been brutality. It's there in a lot of instances, in a lot of hobby spaces, it is cheaper for something to ship from the USA to the UK than from the USA to Canada, and that's been a real bummer to process. I have tried to learn sort of the whys with Transformers and toy collecting. Like, one of my habits is I like to learn the whys that I can learn, so that I stop asking why don't they as much, and I can instead, like, have some grounding. My understanding is because Canada is a very large landmass with very spread out population centers, logistics for Canadian shipping are a lot different than anywhere else, and American companies don't know how to deal with it. In Amazon's case, Jeff Bezos just doesn't pay taxes, causes a cardboard shortage, and has warehouses all over the place, and basically doesn't follow the same rules, is my understanding. Oh, Rider Strike can't do the strobes from Gaugagar anymore. Oh, that sucks. But that's also legit. Like, that is a stroby-ass show. Ransom Fern, I sometimes choose easy, cheap to complete collections to get my hit when I feel the need to complete an expensive collection I shouldn't engage with. Yeah, it's like if you do want the completion high, like, recognizing it is huge. And, yeah, staying away from stuff where you... Like, for instance, Kuro Karakuri. I have 3 of them. That's probably all I'm going to have for a very long time, because, like, now at this point, it's like, well, I haven't picked up, like, 3 other ones. I'm not going to try to backlog track down 3 figures that, in the best case scenario, were half $1,000 each, and now are probably a little bit more because of the nature of being in Canada and whatnot. Biggest thing that got me in the video was the box discussion. I keep the boxes of all my Japanese imports, so I can store the accessories, but I think that has to change for space. Yeah, that's a real brutal one, but it helps a lot. I actually had that moment recently with my MP44 box that I finally got around to filming box footage of 3 years later, and I was like, all right, time to trash the box. And I kind of looked at it, and I was like, you know, I've trashed every other Masterpiece box. MP44 is a very large figure, and I went to check some prices, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to sell mine, but I chickened out on getting rid of the box. I'm going to put it in storage. But, yeah, like you just, if you collect a lot of stuff, especially Japanese stuff, eventually you got to become comfortable with recycling import packaging too, unless you are a very selective collector. And I think that's a lot to ask of keeping your hobby kind of just fun and a little bit freeform. Yeah, there's a lot of the third-party stuff going up on the aftermarket has blown my mind, especially Iron Factory. I had no idea that like, it makes sense because they do a production run and they stop, and they even date the boxes, right, like with the year. So, and it's all, you know, coded and everything. It's all built to be super collectible. I just didn't think it was gonna be. And then back in, I think, 2019 is when I learned from someone, like, yeah, there's like, when an Iron Factory piece leaves the market, it just goes straight up. It's bonkers. Yeah, with me in boxes, it's like, with MP44, that was just me having, like, a massive, like, anxiety situation for something really stupid. But there's some boxes where I'm like, I will keep a copy of one of the boxes from this series. Like, with Mastermind Creations Reformatted, I kept the boxes for a couple of the convention exclusives, because it's like, these are the special ones, so these are like my examples of what their boxes look like. Also, most of those boxes are like this big, so it's not like a huge thing to pop into my storage unit. I got a water bubble, and it's out. We did it. And then I had a hiccup. That took me by surprise. Rider Strike, remember when I had all those Buso Shinki boxes? Oh boy. Yeah. The thing... Here's what I'll say with all the stuff I'm saying. I'll add. Don't feel bad if you're keeping a box. Like, that's sort of what I mean about keeping a positive environment about all this stuff, is you don't want this stuff to turn into rigid rules you must follow or you have failed, end quote. It's just suggestions, at the end of the day. Yeah, the Iron Factory Windblade! Like, what the hell? And get me some cola. I don't know why I always do the brand sip when I'm on stream. It's just like a habit. Picky Peas, for the uninitiated, Cyberzoic is an indie Toylands Dino Riders, but with dinosaurs that actually look like animals. I think I've heard about that. Oh, if you guys hear, I'll share another bummer. I'll share another bummer story to maintain the positive attitude. But if you want to hear, you know, one of the toy collector sacrifices, the most first world of sacrifices. But in my case, I haven't been able to buy Glyos for ages because now obviously I could get a friend in the States to pick some up for me. But the way I like to engage with Glyos has always been to just grab stuff that looks cool when it comes out and not overplan it. If a lot of toy collecting, if I overplan it, ship stuff to people in the States, have that then brought to me at a convention I'm at in the States or Canada, it kills a lot of my motivation. Glyos, because it is a like extremely small operation, Glyos and Non-F Productions have both been clattered by the cost of shipping outside of the States, and I simply can't order stuff from them without it being like, it would have to be some kind of massive order to justify the cost of shipping to me, just in my own tastes. So it means I've had to just like spectate Glyos and Non-F stuff for a while, and it's not their fault. I've gone through this with a couple friends in the States, just pricing out things. It's friggin' expensive to ship objects to Canada from the States as a lone entity. So that's one of my little sacrifices. Oh, Rider Strike, I have a Soda Stream. I've had one since 2011, so it's kind of old, and I need to get a new gas canister for it. But I used to have a Soda Stream recipe I would do all the time, but there was too much sugar in the orange syrup, so I had to back off. Non-F, I didn't know you were literally in here. I wasn't trying to do a thing. It's just I always think of you and Matt Dowdy from Glyos as folks who like have been literally suffering from the state of shipping costs from the last. It's all from the last 2 years, soon to be the last 3 years, and cases like yours are ones I always cite when you come across someone who's like, you know, why can't I, the customer, have a better experience from this independent toy maker in another country? I always kind of want to grab people and shake them and go like, you should try talking to one of them, and then you learn things. Also, Non-F, I hope you're having a good December. I feel bashful now. I didn't know you were here. Coke sponsorships are only given to true Transformers fans on YouTube. It's true. That's why I'm done with all the third-party stuff. Sometimes I even drink Pepsi. Oh, I missed part of this here. There's a couple of reissues where I'm uncertain if I want to try to sell the boxes or just toss them. Tonkanator and 2019 Hot Rod. I know there are a lot of folks super attached to G1 packaging. Maybe get something for those. Yeah, I've had that cross my mind, and there's cases on eBay completed listings where you can deduce that a bit. If you're in the States, it is probably easier, because shipping inside the States still seems to be fairly reasonable, just on the whole, and so shipping an empty box wouldn't be as like kind of silly feeling as doing it, international or elsewhere. That is a thing where I would say if you have any local circles or community folks, just do like a post to everyone you know, going like, "Hey, I have this box. I'm thinking of ditching it, but does anyone want it? This is the cost of shipping. This is the cost, whatever. Does anyone want it shipped for X dollars, basically? Or I'm gonna recycle it." So that's probably worth doing. I still feel really bashful about this. Like, it'd be worse if then like Matt Dowdy pops up and go like, "Hey, it's Matt Dowdy from Glass. I was also watching." I'd be like, "Oh no." Sinking in my chair for about 5 years. Since you brought up Kurokata, thoughts of the Super Robot Wars stuff they revealed. Was it a Daizengar? I saw some of that stuff and it kind of blurred in my memory, so I can't quite recall. Generally, because Kurokata is using Chemical Attack Team doing all their metal build type stuff, like, it generally looks really cool, in my opinion. Assumedly is built pretty well if it's not trying to do something complicated like Victory Leo. Okay, I'm pretty sure I saw the Altizen. Yeah, that stuff looks cool. It looks like it definitely looks more metal build than the Transformers stuff, because it's SRW originals who have that, they have that feel to them, that very Bandai feel. Oh yeah, Robot Lorekeeper. There are several original designs in Super Robot Wars. There are a couple games that are only the original stuff, which are called the Original Generations games. But that's stuff like Daizengar, Altizen, Weissenritte, what's the black Gundam-looking things? Hookabines, the Hookabines. Those are all original design, I believe. Yeah, I've heard Tonkinator's box was just good. It's like a good box. Wave sign, the Brasta. Yeah, there's a bunch. The OG games are kind of like your general listings for original design Super Robot Wars stuff. But I think there's always been original design stuff in those games, except maybe some of the super early ones. But I feel like I've seen Altizen sprites going back to like when you could see the pixels. I have an Altizen kit that Kotobukiya did back in 2007 that's super cool. I picked it up when I was in Japan. Cybuster was in the first one. Okay. Because with stuff like Cybuster, I remember I had the moment where I was like, Cybuster, isn't that just another property? Because like they made a Cybuster... Didn't they make Cybuster Media? Because I just remember thinking Cybuster was one of the visiting properties, and then when I found out it was original, I was like, huh, what? Compatible Kaiser! We're dropping names now. Okay, yeah, there was a Cybuster anime. I thought so. This feels helpful that we're popping these great epiphanies about Robot Wars. Oh yeah, that Altizen I used. I had that Altizen on camera for a VF100. Oh man, the VF100s thing. I forgot about that. That was such a weird piece. Like filming a whole gut tie sequence for it because the entire thing explodes to transform. Yeah, Super Robot Shogoken. I miss that. I wasn't able to keep up with that line. It was one of the first lines I liked that I spectated pointedly because I just couldn't keep up with it. But those were just good toys. Affordable a lot of the time too, I feel like. That's kind of that was sort of the bummer. Is as time went on, I felt like they were also creeping up and up and up because they were probably getting made in lower numbers. It's like the thing that happened to Fig Arts. It feels like as well. Like Fig Arts is no longer the we drop $1 or $2 $30 toys every month kind of thing. It's more of a boutique experience, and there's multiple teams. Like Fig Arts doesn't mean one experience anymore, and it's probably for the better on the whole, but. You miss the first 3 to 5 years of SH Fig Arts sometimes, although that does come with like aesthetics that people super dislike nowadays, like the the original Kabutos, the original doubles, which I still like. there are still $35 fig arts. It's just there's a whole lot of fig arts. But that fig arts that's kind of the one of the other like real like moments was when I was like, I think I just spectate fig arts now, because I don't get excited when I get them as much anymore. But yeah, also this all, I'm gonna get a little bit cosmic again. This all comes down to also a notion, which is that change is constant, and generally change is good. Like, you know, it's absolutely case by case, but the universal constant is change is constant, and being able to find excitement in change, I think, is really valuable to being excited about the like life. And I was fortunate to kind of get brought up under the auspice of like enjoying and being excited about change. But yeah, with fig arts, like I pick up some, and every now and then they still are just like hits, but like it's not like back when I felt like picking up fig arts was a 90% certainty of like, and this is gonna be a hit. Like I found the Marvel and Star Wars fig arts when I was messing with them some years ago, and I stopped afterwards, were so peak and valley of just like, well, this one's pretty cool. This one is not. This one is like bad fig arts. That's not possible. Are you excited about possible Soul of Chogokin Gaofaigar? Mostly that it will exist. Soul of Chogokin is also like really like right now Soul of Chogokin type stuff is just out of my atmosphere. Like it's all spectators for me right now. It's not feasible. But I like that it exists because like eventually I'll be able to backtrack some of it. Eventually Mandarake will use non-DHL shipping, and I'll be able to have a super fun like maybe like super fun year of just like dipping in and out of Mandarake, hitting up that early 2020s, late 2010s stuff I wasn't able to engage with, and I'm trying to look forward to that. But being able to decide on your priorities is a skill that's really worth developing in a way that doesn't sacrifice your enjoyment of the things that you aren't able to pursue. That's a really important aspect to it, in my opinion. Gotta still have fun even when you're spectating some lines. Anyway, I'm gonna start settling down a little bit. I gotta do some cooking. Gonna go make me some of my H Mart Mappo tofu. It's been a really fun thing to do. Granted, the Mappo sauce is a pouch I buy at H Mart, so I don't have any cool like recipes for that. Instead, I just have like, I should probably learn how to make Mappo sauce because it's probably not hard. But for $5, I get a pouch of it that tastes good. What I will say is I've really gotten into the soft silken tofu, and doing the thing you do where you cut it into cubes, but then you bleach it in some boiling water that's been, you get the water boiling, put the cubed silken tofu in, turn the heat off, cover it, just leave it for 10 plus minutes while you work on everything else, and then drain the water out for the most part, then dump it into whatever you're frying. It makes even the silken tofu kind of get a sort of firmed up superstructure while still being nice and silken. And with DHL specifically, it's as a Canadian is the problem, because DHL to Canada means you are adding $20 to $40 on top of whatever you're paying. Because DHL certainly love to charge not only customs, but service fees, and then service fees for being your customs broker, and then tax on both those service fees separately. Is brutal. Anyway, I hope that you've all been having a fun time just chilling out for a short little stream. I'd like to keep short streaming as much as I can. I'm not going to do a stream schedule, I don't think, which I hope is okay with folks, but I really prefer the vibe of just throwing the... I am going to try to do it where I'll throw the announcement out on some socials and pop a scheduled stream on here, so you have, like, an hour or three's notice if you're looking. Because we're still putting VODs up, you know, I'm still letting the VODs just go up. I feel like that's fair still to folks who aren't, like, right here for it. And so generally, I just want to stream more often, whenever the feeling is there, so that, hey, if folks are here, they can pop in. If folks can't make it, they got a VOD they can check out. If the VODs are less than 6 hours long, maybe they'll want to check them out some more. Oh, but I can do a call to action that's not the usual one. So, hang on, let's turn on the fun call to action music. We'll just say it's this one. Okay. So, calls to action, those are a real thing. But, what if I were to tell you that I found out about a cool function with YouTube streaming service that I didn't know was there until a couple streams ago when I was, like, working on the VODs, putting the time codes in, which I still have to do for the last one. There's, like, a scissors thing at the bottom, which you can use to take a clip of a stream. I don't know how you can access the clips you've made. I can't find a listing of any of the ones I've made. But it creates a unique URL, and if you paste that somewhere, it works like a Twitch clip, and if someone clicks on that clip, it drops them into the VOD, but presented as the clip with the option to then watch the rest of the VOD from wherever they started. If you saw something neat that you want to clip, go for it. I'm cool with it. Because also, doing the time codes for, like, streams is a little time consuming, so if I see, like, oh, someone clipped that thing, that could probably be a chapter mark for this. It's also helpful for me. There's no compensation on your guys' end, so this is basically me going like, hey, if you want to do free work for nothing, but if you have fun doing that stuff, go for it. I did a clip of Don't Come On People from the end of the last Extra Life stream, so I don't feel like there's anything for me to hide, really. Music's loud. Okay, we're still working on that. So -15 doesn't work for this. Let's try -18. And a half. Let's try this. Piggy P is my favorite thing with clipping the gamer word joke. Yeah, you popped that one into the TCG Discord, I think. Anyway, that clipping thing seems good. So if you feel like doing it, then, like, you have my blessing. If it's, like, done in a mean, like, crappy way, then, like, you know, don't. But I'm not going to be super particular about that. It's usually here's how my feelings work on stuff like that. Usually, you can tell, and if you make rules, then the bad actors will try to figure out how they can adhere to the rules and still be crummy. So I go on a vibes-based approach to this stuff. Also to moderation, Darren. So anyway, go snip, go snippy snip, slashy slash, whatever you want to do, and keep it real. Okay, so music. So here's my question: is the music still loud? With the word "still," let me know, because I've done this with the headphone monitor in, and it doesn't quite seem to tell me what's going on. My bars are all right. I'm gonna actually pop this a smidge. Okay, so we're gonna go to -21. A little production trick, by the way. Always go in multiples of 3. If you go lower than 3, it's too granular to notice. And if you go bigger than 3, the changes are kind of, you're hopping stones. So we're going to pop to -21. And now, before I get any opinions, I'm going to pop to -24. Which puts it in green only. So that should be the... Now, granted, I haven't done any EQ. That's another whole... I'll give you one more pro tip. When you want to actually, in post-production, layer music to voice, you want to give voice priority on the treble to mid, and you want to give music priority on the bass to mid, so that they kind of interlock together. I haven't done that here in OBS, because I don't know how. Okay, we're saying -24 is good. I prefer quieter myself, so -24 seems like a good setting. It's good to know. I gotta write that down. Because I've set the mic to 0, because I was tired of trying to find, like, a mic point. I'm like, we're just gonna go mic 0, and then we'll proceed from there. I have watched a number of streamers over the last 2 years, and a little point of pride for me, I feel like I have a bit of a grip on how to adjust audio on the fly. Audio seems to be, and it is, one of the most brutal things for someone to learn how to do. That's also why I want to share the numbers. So in case you're doing this stuff, maybe you'll learn a little something. Anyway, we ran through that music track, so we'll pop over to the OG. And I gotta turn this looping thing off. This looping thing was entirely for Peter Cullen yelling "come." It was for this.
Let them come.
That's finished
Let
now.
them come.
Well, it's not finished now.
Let them come.
Okay. He still is looping a little
Let
bit.
them come.
All right, he's continuing on. I hit
them come.
the loop 1 track.
Let
That's what I
them
did.
come.
There we go. Anyway, we're gonna pop this in, and then move to our outro. This is playing. This is playing. All right. I said everything to say, calls to action, etc. A little update on the side of post-produced things, because I always seem to give these, and it's often still ages until you see the results, but I give them anyway. I filmed a bunch of articulation segments today for DLX Iron Man Mark 43, for Super 7 Ultimates Bonsaitron, for Super 7 Ultimates Bombshell, and for 30 DLX The Last Night Optimus Prime. Articulation segment filming is a good thing, because that's the thing I can get the most held up on, feeling like, oh, I'm not in the right frame of mind. Anyway, it's done, so whatever. Ha! That's the update. I'm going to pop to the other screen now. Take it easy. Stay safe out there. Have a good new year if you can, and if you can't, it's not your fault. You're doing your best. Just keep doing your best. That's right. Do your best. And also, stay nourished. Like me. Always stay nourished. Ah.